What's up, guys? We are talking the 2025 Strongest Man on Earth at the Shaw Classic. It goes down August 16th and 17th this year. We've got the expo, a lot of things happening on the Friday the 15th as well. So if you are not planning on coming out, please make plans. You want to be there in person. This is going to be crazy. Today we've got Mr. Bryce Johnson, and Bryce is training hard for the contest coming up, man. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you, but how are you feeling, brother?
Yeah, pretty good so far. Yeah, feeling pretty strong, pretty excited for this.
I mean, it's a pretty big undertaking training. Strongest Man on Earth is a different contest, man, without a doubt. So it's, something that I think a lot of guys approach differently in their training as well.
Yeah, yep. And the nice thing is too, like we have North America's coming up here this next weekend. So some of the events are kind of set up well so we can keep the training going through that competition even, which is nice. So yeah.
Yes, man. It's I mean, are you a fan of the bigger weights? Like what type
Yeah.
of events do
Oh
you
yeah.
like?
Yeah, no, I like the heavier like heavier moving events and stuff like that, like the heavy yokes, heavy grip things. I like those quite a bit.
Love it, man. Love it. So speaking of the yoke event, is that one? I'm assuming you're excited for that. Have you pushed that in training at all as far as the type of weight you're carrying?
Yeah, we pushed that one a little bit here. I'm pretty excited for it. I haven't really gone up to those heavier weights before, but everything's been feeling and moving pretty good at the weights we have been doing. So I'm excited for that and see where we can
Nice,
do.
man. What have you got up to, or do you want to keep that secret?
It's not only 1100 right now, and it moved
Okay.
okay, but I'm excited to see what we get when we get there.
100%, man. I mean, well, it's about moving it from point A to point B. So, I mean, you're
Yeah,
you're right around with the 1100. That's the first, right around that first round. Probably within 100 pounds for sure. So, I mean, that's
yeah.
exciting, man. That's exciting.
Oh yeah, yep.
Nice. Other events, like what are you excited about? What events are you excited about?
Yeah, I'm probably most excited for the manhood stones.
Love it.
Um,
Love it.
I like Atlas stones quite a bit, and those have been going really well in training. I got 520 I hit the other day for a single,
Nice.
and that moved very well. So
Is that
pretty
the
excited.
is that the heaviest stone that you've loaded, a 520?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yep,
Do you have
yep.
access to anything heavier than that, or is it now just reps with that?
No, no, we have a 573
Oh,
that
nice.
one of the local promoters made. I don't know whether or not we'll go for it before SMOE, uh, but we'll see. It feels like I could hit that right now. So
Well, I mean, I tell you what, man, a lot of times the way that the weight moves, right? Like you can
hmm
kind of feel, so if you hit 520 and you knew there was more in the tank, I mean, that's a
hmm
really good spot. Do you know your strategy? Because obviously with the manhood stones, there's four of them.
Yeah.
Weight trumps reps. So
Yep.
the bigger weight that you get, it doesn't matter. Somebody loads 5 reps with the weight underneath that. If you get one at the bigger weight, you win. So,
Yeah.
is that going to play into your strategy? I mean, do you have a stone in mind that you're going to go after, or are you going to try to put one on the board and then go up?
I'm not quite sure yet. I got to talk to JF a little bit more about that, what like our game plan is going to be. Uh, but I'd like to really push that event. So I'd like to at
Nice.
least hit the 550
550
for a
would be
rep.
good,
So
man.
yeah.
550 would be good. That's awesome. How are you with the pressing events? How are you feeling about those? Like the max log and with the standing chest press?
Yeah, it's not going too bad. We have a max log this weekend, so we'll kind of see where that's sitting at after this weekend. I'd like to hit 200 kilos this year, so I think that'd be pretty good. It is kind of funny that hitting that weight at SMO is not quite as big of a weight as you think it would be, which is awesome. That's great.
Yeah, man. Well, the other X factor to the log is, the factor of you guys calling your own weights too, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just a rising bar, which often happens in strongman. So you get
Yep.
to you get to dictate your weight. So it may be in that 440, 200 kilo range, but can you do 442 and a half or
Yeah.
445, right? Like, and I think that there'll be a lot of guys. Yes, for sure. There's some guys talking about some crazy numbers, but also the battle. What is so fascinating is the battle for every single
Hmm.
position down, and it's how do you play each round, and what weight do you go for, and if you can just nudge ahead of somebody else, I mean that may be 2, 3, 4 points, so
Yeah.
it
Yep.
really adds up. Like that's what's fascinating with strongman, especially a contest like this. A lot of people may look at it and say, well, okay, what's the winning number? But there's a battle where there's 16 spots, right? So
Yeah.
the number you call and what you open with and what you hit in the second round, all these things are major factors. And again, it's about consistent performances, right? So, I
Yep.
mean, we all know, everybody knows that a 440-pound log, that's kind of the gold standard, right? So like
Yep.
if you hit that, you're going to be in decent points. It's just how good of points, right?
Yeah.
So like
Yep.
something like that is pretty cool. And then standing chest press, are you excited about that? That's obviously a
Yeah.
very different event.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. I've always kind of had bench press in um with all the coaches I've had in the past. Everyone's kind of kept bench press in. So it feels like I'm sitting pretty well at that since we've never really taken it out. So
Nice.
JF's been giving me some pointers and everything, so
How are
it's
you
feeling pretty good.
how are you training? How are you training that for that event? Are you training with the pause, or are you just doing full range of motion? Kind of touch and go stuff.
Yeah, so we've done it a couple different ways. It's mostly been pauses, or else we'll put the safeties way down at the bottom and kind of take all that pressure off and then go back up with it at the bottom.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yep.
Do you feel like with your pressing? Do you feel like it's like are you more like a tricep dominant? Like do you feel like your triceps are stronger, or is it more like when you get into your power zone, where do you feel like
Yeah.
you're the strongest?
It's most of it's for my triceps. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What's
And I get a lot
interesting
out of my legs on log
What'll
too.
be interesting, man, is this like the standing chest press, and I've said this to a few different people. It's much more anterior delt and tricep dominant, right? Where a lot
Hmm.
of people are like, "Oh, it's chest press," but actually, you're way more tucked in. When
Yeah.
you load, if you can stay loaded there, it's much more of a like the stronger your triceps are, the better off you are, I think. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if you can have that carryover, man, that could be again, it's one of those events that could shake things up a little bit, because some
Yep.
guys, like you're saying, you've kept bench in. Some guys don't, like they don't bench at all, which I always kept it in for me in my training too. So it's always a close, at least some variation of close grip bench or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
hopefully that
Yep.
hopefully that bodes well for you, man.
That's what I'm hoping for. It's been
Nice.
feeling pretty good, so we're excited.
Where is your body weight sitting at right now?
I think I'm right around 405 right now, which is actually
Nice.
lower than I've been in the past. I hired a nutritionist finally a couple months ago, so everything's kind of simmered back out, and it's the body weight's a little more consistent, which is great.
Nice, man. Nice. That's all. I
Yeah.
would assume it's probably going to be you or well, I guess there's a few guys that are kind of in the upper 300s, but I'd say you or maybe Tom Stolman. I don't know what weight he's at right now, but
Yeah.
I would assume you guys will probably be both at that 400 mark or a little bit over as well. So
Yeah.
a lot of big guys coming though. There's
Oh
going to be
yeah.
some high body weights.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Awesome. Is there any events you're concerned about?
Cake toss. Yep.
Keg
Yep.
toss.
It's mostly because I haven't done it a whole lot in the past. We did so the small pony cakes are for some reason hard to find around here.
They're they're
So one of
they're they quit making them, so they're
yeah,
extremely hard to find. Yes, yeah.
yeah. But one of my buddies went and took a keg and just welded it down and made just like a pony cake size. So we've been able to
Beautiful.
practice that the last couple weeks. It's been going well. It's a lot of I'm not quite sure how it's gonna go. So, but
I
I'm happy we
yeah.
got to practice.
I'm actually really curious on that one too, man, because it hasn't. I only got to do a max weight keg toss one time,
Hmm.
one time in my career, only one event.
Yeah.
So it switched over to the bag toss, and then we had
Yep.
a max weight bag, but not with kegs, right? And so I think it's one of those things that'll be fascinating to see how you guys do with that, and you know, depending on how it shakes out, I think it could be pretty interesting to see like who can get what, and you know, if you can get the
Yeah.
weight, for example, and how that plays out. So you know, it's I think it's a wild card for everybody, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you're, you know, flying solo and everybody else is super comfortable, you know, because it's a
Yeah.
different event, man. It's, you know, keg toss in a series up to, depending on where you go, is much
Yep.
different. It's a much different event than a true max weight throw. So, you know, the way
Yeah.
you approach it, how much power you can generate, you know, that type of stuff. But I think it'll be fun to see how it plays out, man.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
Nice, nice. So you feel how overall, like going into this mentally, do you have a goal for where, like where you want to be? Like where do you want to end up, you know, obviously, or what's the message you want to send with your performance?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to have a good performance and just kind of show that I belong at that level of strongman show. You know, I think
Absolutely.
I can place very well here. You know, SMOE's always a heavier event, and I usually perform better at those ones that are just a little heavier.
Love it.
So I think I can do pretty well here.
I mean, it's great, man. So you come in, get, I mean, obviously give everything you got, and kind of we'll see where the chips fall, man.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I love it. I love it. Well, is the body feeling good? You nothing you're dealing
Yeah.
with, everything feels good.
Yep. Nope. Everything's all healed up. It's been feeling really good. Everything's feeling pretty smooth lately. So I'm
Nice.
excited.
It's
That's
good. Well,
yeah.
that makes me excited, man. I just kind of talking to doing these things and talking to you guys. Like, seems like everybody's pretty pumped up, and you know, there's certainly a lot of excitement about what's going to happen, how it's going to play out. You know,
Hmm.
and that's exactly why we do these interviews, right? Like, get people
Yeah.
excited and get the fans excited, and you know, obviously introduce the fans to, you know, some of the guys like yourself that maybe they aren't as super familiar with, you know, that kind of
Yep.
thing. So you know, then they have a reason to root for you, man. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
that audience is going to be pretty wild. So
Oh
um,
yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, keep training hard, man. I hope everything goes smooth coming in, and we will see you out here in Colorado in a few weeks.
Perfect. Sounds great. Thank you for having me on.
You got it, man. If you guys have not got your tickets or not planning on watching the live stream, everything will be, we'll put a link right below the video, theshawclassic.com. You can get your tickets there. Support the athletes, support the contest. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Can't wait to see it all go down and see how it plays out. So hope you guys are doing amazing. For now, going to be great. We'll check you guys later.